I am Reverend Karen Lewis. It is my joy to be here on this Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers. How blessed we are. How blessed we are to be able to come together to celebrate this day, to be here now. I brought actually a little bit of humor. I brought humor today. And it is in form of elementary school kids answering questions about their mothers. Yeah. So here it goes. Why did God make mothers? She's the only one who knows where the Scotch tape is. To help us out of there when we are getting born. Yes. How did God make mothers? Magic, plus superpowers and a lot of stirring. God made my mom just the same like He made me. He just used bigger parts. What did God give to you? Why did God give you your mother and not some other mother? Because we are related. God knew she likes me a lot more than other people's moms like me. I like that one. What kind of little girl was your mom? My mom has always been my mom, and none of that other stuff. I don't know because I wasn't there, but my guess would be she was pretty bossy. They said she used to be nice. All right. What does your mom do in her spare time? Mothers don't have spare time. And the last one, if you could change one thing about your mom, what would that be? I would like for her to get rid of those invisible eyes on the back of her head. Yes. Earthly mothers. Earthly mothers. We love them, we appreciate them, and every once in a while, I am reminded of that saying, if it's not one thing, then it's my mother. But that might be just a German thing. I don't know. So we have spent some time looking at our relationships to our earthly mothers. And today's talk is really geared towards our relationship with the divine mother within, with the divine feminine within. And you know, it matters not if we are showing up for this walk on planet Earth in female or in male form. It has nothing to do with it. For each and every one has deep at the center of our being that part that is the divine feminine. If you're new to this teaching, I would like to share with you that Dr. Ernest Holmes put one of the pillars of this teaching squarely down, that we are one with the divine. At all times. Exactly who we are and exactly who we are not. So it matters not how we are showing up here, in which physical form, in which bag of bones, but that connection to the divine mother, to the divine feminine within each and every one of us. That is what we can lean into to nurture us, to heal us, and that is what I believe we are here to bring forth in the world. And so my talk title today is Celebrating the Divine Mother Within. And isn't it interesting that as a community, we have chosen this theme this year that is the spiritual hero's journey. And I brought the slide. By now, if you have been here for a while, you're familiar with this wonderful journey. And also, if this is new to you, I invite you to go to the archives. All the talks are there so you can catch up. And what is so helpful for me is to look at this and understand, oh, this is what's going on. because we started at the beginning of the year and we are somewhere around here. And let's see what it says over here. Trials and failure, growth, new skills. On some other charts, you find here getting in contact with our inner deepest shadow. Preparation for that which is to come, which is depicted by flames. Aren't we excited? I'm not speaking on that Sunday when we are there. That's for Reverend Leslie. So we are, as a community and as people, we are always on a spiritual hero's journey. And this year we have taken this theme to help us understand, how do we grow? How do we grow? How do we mature spiritually? What can we learn from it so the next time when we go around, we might do it a little easier. We might be a little kinder to ourselves. We might come to this place and say, oh, I am connecting with that which I tend to push away from me. It is right up again. As I was spending time with this model this week, I was reminded that the New Vision Center, this living organization that we love so much, is also going through a spiritual hero's journey. And it has done many, as Reverend Leslie mentioned. We have been the center here for 32 years. There have been many, many of those journeys. And one that came to mind specifically is this journey that the center took and then came to the bottom, to the time, what we call death or rebirth, when something dramatic happened, when something dramatic falls away. And I was reminded that that was really the times when the senior ministers would leave. There are many people here in the sanctuary and many people online who remember that time, that when that happened, especially when our beloved long-term senior minister of 17 and a half years, Reverend Dr. Michelle Madrano, left, that felt to many of us like a death of an era. We all loved her going into her next greater yet to be, and yet, in the community, we could feel it. And I invite us to look ahead and take a look at what we are invited to bring out of these experiences of death and reborn. There's always, always a gift in everything. In everything that happens, there is a gift. And I believe that the gift of that particular circle of the hero's journey was that this community became very much a community-focused experience. That very much what fell away, that there is one person that is on the platform that has the answers. Because that is not where we find ourselves, is it? No. This community belongs to all of us. It belongs to every community member. It belongs to every person that has ever driven by. We are all invited to find what is within me that wants to be birthed. And this is the white canvas. This is the place where we hold each other to bring forth the best that we have to give. That is the blessing of that particular circle around the hero's journey. A little later on in the service, you will experience what that looks like. When an organization, a living, breathing organism, is really answering the one question in everything that is being done here, in everything that gets created here. How can this reveal the power of love. How can this be love? It changes everything. It changes everything. And we don't have to grow up and mature in order to realize that. I believe we have a slide by beloved Carolyn Miss. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She says, remember, if you want to make progress on the path and ascend to the places you have longed for, the important thing is not to think much, but to love much, and to do whatever best awakens you to love. Do whatever awakens you best to love. Now that is something different for each and every one of us. What is so reassuring is we don't have to learn it. We already know it. From the very moment we were born, we know how to love. We know how to bring forth that energy that comes through us from the divine, from the allness of life through us, and gets shared into the world. One of the stories that inspired me about this is the story of Kyle and Brielle Jackson. These two beloveds are identical twins. They were born on October 17th of 1995, 12 full weeks premature. Now take a moment and bring yourself back to 1995. That was a big challenge. Kyrie was 2 pounds and 3 ounces. And she was put immediately into an incubator, and she grew and she gained weight, and she was thriving. Brielle, on the other hand, was not thriving. She had a lot of difficulties. And almost a month later, on November 12th, Brielle went into critical condition. And the nurse that was on duty at that moment went to the parents and said, would you be willing to try something radical? And the parents said, of course, whatever. And so she took the healthier baby and placed it in the incubator with a baby that was struggling. That was not something that was ever done. And immediately, she calmed down. And then something miraculously happened. And I think we have a picture of this picture. That picture went around the world. It's an emotional day today. Oh, yeah. So that picture went around the world because nobody told that baby how to love, right? And it's the same for each and every one of us. There's a part within us that knows how to love. There's a part within us that knows how to heal. When we have that wonderful ceremony of the lighting of the candles, and we are invited to send our blessing into the world, to bless a particular person or a whole region. That is because it works. So let's all take a breath. I am so glad that we are in this together. Tears are okay. Tears are welcome. Yeah. Because it is such a huge realization that each and every one of us, from the moment we are born, we have this power to love. And words are so limiting. Words are always so limiting. So I would love to facilitate an experience. I would love for us to take a moment and really feel where you are. If you have anything in your hands, just put it down for a moment. Allow yourself to be with all the emotions that are present on this day, in this moment. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or just squish in your seat, however you feel most comfortable. Let us take a few breaths together and let it all go. I would recommend that you bring to mind a loving presence that you might be able to see their face or not, it doesn't matter. But you can definitely feel their arms wrapped around you and holding you close. And I would like to imagine that every being that incarnates on this planet, as they wake up to the physical form on planet Earth, hear these words. You are a spiritual being. You belong to the universe. You are one with all life. You are part of the sun, a part of the earth, a part of the air. You are eternal. You are loved. You are perfect. You are precious. You are blessed, and you are free. Just feel those arms holding you. Feel those arms around you. The Spirit within you is God. You are a spiritual being. You belong to the universe. You are one with all life. You are part of the sun, the earth, the air. You are eternal. You are so loved, so precious. You are perfect. You are blessed. You are free. And as you breathe into your heart of hearts, allow yourself to feel that deep love. The Spirit within you is God. The freedom of God is your freedom. The power of God is your power. The presence of God is within you. The mind of God is your mind. The strength of God is your strength. The joy of God is your joy. This life is a gift. You are completely loved and supported by all of life. You are meant to live in peace, in joy, in happiness. All is here for you. Feel those arms wrapped around you. Feel that love pouring in and through you. Life is a gift. You are meant to be happy, to be healthy, to prosper. Welcome to the world. Welcome to your world. And as we continue to breathe in these words of truth, ever so gently, make yourself aware of your physical body. Feel the chair you're sitting in, your feet on the ground. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Take a look around. See the beloveds that you see. See what you see. I wish for every baby to hear those words. And if I have a chance to see a baby, those are the words I whisper in their ears. I wish all of our earthly mothers would have the foresight, would have been so connected to the love at the center of their being that they could have told us these words. But if you have not heard them from your mother, hear them now. We are all grown up. We can lean into the divine feminine representation of that anywhere in the world, and we can be willing to listen and hear those words of truth. You are precious. You are loved. The entire universe is conspiring for your good. Feel within yourself the strengthening of that base, the strengthening of the foundation of the deep knowing that this is the truth. Each of us. Some of us might have been surprises, but none of us was a mistake. For there are no mistakes in the universe. And this power for good that is out in the universe has been with us from the very first moment that we were born until this very breath we're taking right now. And so if you can hear my voice, hear this. You are precious. You are God made manifest. I wish all mothers would feel that. And I ask myself sometimes, why is that not the case? Why are there earthly mothers who sometimes feel like they have to help these kids to conform instead of loving them into blossoming whatever they want to be in the world? Why is that? It is not a lack of love. I believe it is a lack of not being connected to that truth within themselves. For if we don't believe that we are here to live exactly the life we came here to be, having a human experience well on earth, it's very hard to give that to our children. And so I have so much compassion and love. And if we are one of the people, of the babies, of the young ones who didn't hear this message, it is our work to hear it now. Find the place where you can hear that message. Create the outer circumstances in your life where when you come up with a creative idea, life says, yes, yes, that. Let's do that. In the Talmud, it says, every blade of grass has an angel leaning over it that says, grow, grow, grow. I believe it's not only blades of grass. I think it's every one of us. There is something in the universe that leans over us and says, grow, be. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself to this gift called life. Yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be sometimes great big challenges. And how can I stand up to it? If we have this basis of love, if deep down we know that we are blessed and we are a blessing, and if we are willing to live from that place, nothing on this earth plane rattles that conviction. And that's our work. Our work is to find out, how can I know this so deeply? And so I say to you, you are precious. You are perfect. You are a manifestation of the divine, and the earth and the sun and the stars are singing on your behalf. The entire universe is conspiring to bring forth the very best that lies within you. And so I say to you, every hardship, every person that ever left, every firing, every going away of a great investment strategy, bless it. Put a blessing into it and grow a blessing out of it. For if we can pull from that foundation, watch out, world, because here we come. And the New Vision Center is such a fertile ground for that. In a few minutes, you are going to be present to something amazing that happened. A couple of weeks ago, I received a text. It had attached to it a song and just a simple text that said, I want to sing this song on Mother's Day. It was from beloved Aaron. And my first reaction was, we have our music planned out way long time. We have the artist here. So in the physical, there were a lot of things that could have gotten in the way. And yet, as I was talking this over with Reverend Leslie, and then I was talking to Mark to plan the music for this day, he said, well, what if? What if we say yes to that? What if we create an experience one way where that is possible? That, beloveds, is love. That is the divine feminine saying yes. And so in a few moments, you will be able to hear what can happen when we say yes. And so our collective work for this week is the invitation to find ways in your own life to say yes. Things that stretch you, things that might even scare you a little bit, things that get you out of the comfort zone, find ways to say yes. I am so grateful we are on this journey together. Thank you. And so let's anchor this prayer. Let's anchor all of it in prayer. I invite the practitioners of this teaching to rise, the ministers to stand up. Every person that is connecting with their yes, just rise, take a stand. Let the universe see you, that you are a yes. And so we breathe in here, recognizing the allness of life, recognizing that there is enough for everyone. There's no shortage of love, of peace, of harmony. And the divine shows up in, oh, so many amazing, amazing ways. And as we consciously step into that which is greater than we are, we recognize that at the very center of our being, we are love, we are peace, we are harmony, we are joy, we are the power of the divine, the strength of the divine, we are God in form. And so we say yes, yes, yes. And from this place, we send out love into the world, blessing all people everywhere, wherever they find themselves, on the very mountain top of their lives or in a valley. We share our love freely, generously, effortlessly, without strength. We duplicate that divine feminine mother's love and give to one another. So it is on this fertile ground that all is truly well. God is, I am, we are. And breathing in the goodness of this moment, the goodness of the spiritual mind treatment, we just simply place it into universal law, the law that says, yes, it's already done. Yes, my beloveds, yes. We call it good. And together we anchor this truth as we say, so it is.